You all are welcome back to another episode of the FTLG podcast. We are happy to be back. We are happy to be consistent. We're happy to record. We're happy to analyze the game week for the weekend. I'm still your boy Dio, and as always, I have my co-host alongside with me. Dami, how are you doing today, brother?
Doing great. Thank God for life. Ready to get started. Let's get this episode started.
Yes, sir. Basically, we have to address the big game we had over the weekend. um, the North London Derby, Arsenal versus Tottenham Hotspur. And obviously, we're going to dissect the match, but I just wanted to mention that, to Igor Tudor, to the Tottenham team, I, 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 I gave a speech. I gave like a 1 minute speech, words of encouragement, Sean, going into the game on Sunday. I mentioned that, it is a lot of things at stake. You have to win. You have to help out a lot of football fans, make their weekends. A lot of things might happen. I even mentioned, I went as far as saying that you might improve the GDP of a country. And that was your performance. Okay. Obviously, Arsenal won 4-1. It was a demolition at Tottenham Stadium. I didn't even know the name of the stadium, but it was a demolition to the Tottenham team. It was an embarrassment. Arsenal dealt with them. Iberici Eze had another good game of the season, and guess what? It was against Spurs. Gyökeres finding form against Spurs. Two goals for both. They both had a brace. One goal for Kolo Muani, his first goal in the Premier League, ironically. He has scored in the Champions League for Spurs, but he has not scored in the Premier League. And Arsenal, went on to extend the lead on the table by, I believe, 5 points now. City is still, in and around that first position, but it's shaky. But yeah, Damien, how did you find that match? How did you find the performance for both teams? How did you find Arsenal dominating the game? Did you expect anything from Spurs?
I mean, if you look, if anybody here listens to our previous episode, we were enthusiastic. We were hoping Tottenham would do something, but in our minds, we knew it was a lost game. To those first match as a manager in the Premier League, I wasn't expecting much from him from his time in Juventus, because Juventus is meant to be one of the top teams in Italy. Didn't win anything. He might have won something, but not anything worthwhile. Got fired after a couple of games, after a horrible run of forms. Actually, he got fired from Juventus. I wasn't expecting much from him. Um, but yeah, I didn't expect too much from Tottenham, but I was hoping they would do something. The match went great from Arsenal perspective, of course. They won 4-1 for some some shaky goals, but I mean, no one really cares how you score your goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Iberici, like you said, his two goals, Gyökeres and his two goals. But yeah, Arsenal's points, the match was great, decent. Some of the things I saw that I really enjoyed in like Arsenal's perspective was Gyökeres moving into that left striker space where he can now use his right foot to shoot or to dribble. That's where we saw him very effective last season, where he got the golden boots last season. That's where we saw him great. Um, Tottenham didn't really have a lot of positives, to be honest. I was very disappointed with Vicario, their goalkeeper. Especially that Gyökeres goal that he shot from outside the box. Very disappointed. I was very disappointed. I thought he could have saved that. I think his hand even touched it, but he needs to. I felt like he needed to do better for that. Not a lot of positives for Tottenham, to be honest. Not a lot of positives. But I mean, that's why they are 15th or 16th on the table this season. So yeah.
Just to counter you there, I don't think Vicario was bad yesterday. I think he has cost the club a lot this season. He has cost his teammates a lot this season. But he was actually my man of the match from a Spurs perspective. There was a lot of chances Arsenal created yesterday. They could have even gotten more. Four did not even like. fully give us the entirety of the match. I think Vicario saved them a lot, and like I, that is a very hard thing or difficult thing to say about sports. Like Vicario does not actually save this team a lot. He actually like would cost them a lot. In Kapi's chance that he created for Saka, that was Mickey Van der Ven losing his man. That was Vicario, obviously you want a sweeper keeper, but
Yeah,
Vicario had just those he had a lot of moments. And yeah, I do agree he could have saved Gyökeres first goal.
that's
He had fingertips.
yeah,
Yeah, he had his fingertips on that ball. However, you could say the shot was more, powerful
yeah.
than
That was like the only disappointing part of the match for me from him
yeah,
because
yeah.
like the scores was I think 2-1 at that time. When he considered that goal, it was 3-1, and from 3-1, it was over. The game was over already. So I was just a bit disappointed. I felt like because obviously the shot was from outside the box, your hand already touches it. Like you just need enough power to push it out. And I mean, this is me as a goalkeeper too. I mean, people from my high school will say, I mean, they'll say whatever they want, but this is me as a goalkeeper, like my own opinion, but yeah.
I agree, I agree. Don't you think that you are being I understand, like you already mentioned to me, like we spoke privately, I don't rate this guy, he has been bad. But do you not think that he doesn't have so much to play for this loss? He doesn't have so much of a part to play for this loss. Like I'm seeing Spurs' head coach. Because, you know, there's a new manager bounce. We've seen it with Michael Carrick. We've seen it with Liam Rossignol coming to Chelsea. We've seen manager bounces happen. Tuchel came to Chelsea. We saw how Chelsea started playing the first couple of games. Manager bounce is a good thing. However, he has been dealt a very difficult set of cards. It's very very difficult for him. He has a lot of players injured. He's losing. He doesn't have the likes of Madison, Kulisevsky. His defenders Romero, even if I don't rate Romero as much. Udogie, um, he's forced to use Paulinho as a centre back. And I'm not saying Thomas Frank did not do that too. Thomas Frank was also dealt with injuries. He was difficult for Thomas Frank to play. It was difficult for Thomas Frank to, enjoy his football because he had a lot of players injured. Kudus also got injured. But and yeah, that is one side. Two, the crop of players they have available right now, the ones that are fit, the ones that should be starting, Mickey Van der Ven. Don't you think they were disappointing just by themselves yesterday? I'm not saying um what was it like it was a disappointing match, but like they've been disappointing all season, regardless of like the tactical setup from the coach. It's just like in terms of how they've been playing this season, it's been quite bad overall. The team has been bad.
Oh yeah, definitely. The players definitely have a hand in the team being bad. You can blame the coach sometimes. You can say the coach did not set them up right. The coach did not do his assignments well when checking the opposition. Sports players, they've been horrific this season. And that's not even talking about the players that have been out. Apparently they only have 13 players that are fit to start, or 13 players that are even fit to play. So
Yeah,
that
bro.
might
You saw
be
their bench yesterday.
yeah,
Their their bench was just bad. There
that
was
might
nobody
be
that I knew of or like that
yeah.
could come in. I was like, yeah. And then Sholanke was dealing with tonsillitis. A grown ass man at this age is dealing with tonsillitis. Well, that is a story from another day. He was dealing with that. So he could not even start. Like if you had a two-man up front with Kolomwani, Sholanke, something could have, come up there. But that was not even it was not even an option to start because he was dealing with throat problems.
Yeah. No, like the players definitely have a hand. Like, sometimes the players, even when the players have been fit, when some of them were fit earlier at the start of the season, they weren't still doing anything. Like Tottenham, it all boils down to the mentality for me. The entire mentality as a club. We spoke about it last week on how to like the players, what are they going to do and everything. Tottenham is very disappointed this season. What we can give them an excuse and say, okay, yes, they do have a lot of injuries. Even though I remember when Chelsea had 12 injuries one time and we got that season that we got eight or something. nobody gave us excuses for that, but that's a story for another day. We can give them the excuses of yes, they have players injured, they have players out. For me, for Tottenham, we just need to wait for next season. Let's see what they can do next season when everyone is either coming back or getting fitter and getting more match ready. So I can't really say much about Tottenham. Their season is done. Like, hopefully they don't have to they don't have to like fight off relegation, because obviously we want to see a team like Tottenham in the Premier League, a big team with money to spend and European prestige in quotations. But yeah, we want to see all those kind of teams in Premier League. But yeah, they can't do anything this season anymore. We have to wait for next season for them.
That was going to be my next question because we come here every week. We go, is Arsenal going to win it? Is Arsenal going? Is Tottenham going to? Sorry, is City going to do this? Is United? My question now to you is Tottenham going to relegate? Because we're sitting out here, we're saying, oh, we can wait for them because you've been mentioning next season, next season, next season. Are they actually going to be there next season? They are 16th position or 15th, one of those two numbers. they I can't remember their points tally, but they are not far off from the guys just right beside them. Your likes of Leeds, your West Ham. West Ham is pushing now, right? Leeds is pushing. You have Burnley, you have Wolves. In that, you know, Wolves, I think mathematically, statistically, they are done. Burnley, they're on their way. Or like your Leeds, your West Ham, who else is there? Your Spurs, those guys, those teams in and around, does Tottenham not actually just mess it up and end up 18th?
I mean, that's probably why they hired their new coach, to save them, to keep them up. And if he does it, good for him. If he doesn't, he's definitely going to get fired. Because obviously they had Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank was a great coach at Brentford. Everybody knew him for being flexible. This
Yes.
guy too is flexible. He does use a five at the back most of the times. But if he can't save them, then that would be such a story. Tottenham Hotspur getting relegated in 2025-2026 season. And I'd love to see them in the championship too, because obviously they're a team.
Who be this guy? Who be
No,
this
like
guy?
if they do get relegated, I'd love to see them in the championship, because like they're a team with obviously more money than most of the teams that are there already. So it's either they come back the next year or something more horrific happens to Tottenham Hotspur.
They would lose a lot of these players, man. Which is good. A lot of teams can go in and go and buy what they want when they want, but they lose a lot of like proper players. You use like a Madison, you use a Kulisevsky, you might lose a Kudus. Maybe not lose a Kudus because you just got him, but you lose a lot of these good players if you end up in that championship situation, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But some of these guys are with 10 good guys. They are injured, they're out injured. They've not had good games in a while. They might lose them, obviously, but their level is quite shaky right now. Like, we obviously have the world class players, we have average players. Most of sports players right now, to me, they're just below average right now. Like, they're
Ah,
below
yeah.
average because,
Oh
like,
my god.
they've had a full season. You're telling me, even when Chelsea was at his worst, we were 12th. I think our lowest was like, I mean, we got to like, yeah, we're 12th. Man U at their lowest were like 13th, 14th. Last season,
Mm,
15th.
mm. Yes.
Man
Man
U,
U,
yeah.
their lowest was 15th, and they failed to win the Europa League against Spurs.
Yeah. I mean, Spurs is a very funny club, to be honest. And I've always wanted to like, I want to know what sports fans think about like their club in general.
I don't think they'll be happy right now. They are all over the place. They are 16th. They have literally no hope to the season. I don't know if they even have hope for how the season might end. A sports fan, if you catch a sports fan right now, they'll beat you up, man. They'll just don't,
I'd
don't
love
talk
to
to me.
I'd love to discuss with them, like, okay, from when you guys won the Europa League final till now, how has your like support of the club been? obviously winning the Europa League, so much joy, so much happiness. You guys bring in a couple players, Kolomoani, Xavi Simons. Come on, like squad morale is a hop high. Like, how do you guys feel now? Like, that's a question I'd love to know. But
No,
if there are any sports
no, yeah.
fan listening, any sports fans listening to this, watching this, please let me know. I want to know how you feel, especially as somebody from the
What
other
a
side of
troll.
London.
What a troll.
I'd love to know how you guys feel right now.
But yeah, I totally understand. I understand. And we've been able to give a fair analysis. It's a little bit of both. The coach didn't maybe like instill his idea into them as soon as possible, as quickly as possible. Maybe he still needs a couple more time. Because when his first press conference, like just before the weekend, they asked him, "Do you think?" Like I don't remember the question, but it was more so is Tottenham going to relegate? And he said, "I promise you, they are not going to relegate." Bad starts, but with time, maybe he will get to where he needs to get to with the team. And again, you mentioned that the players have been disappointing, which is entirely true. They've been disappointing this season. They could have done a lot better. But maybe the structure is bad. Maybe something internally is going on with Spurs that we are not even aware of and they are not putting in the news. So let's just see how their season ends up being. There's still a lot more games, so let's see where they will end up. If they end up in Championship or they'll still be in Premier League. My
Yeah,
best guess is they'll still be in Premier League.
even
And
like
then yeah,
for me, one thing I always want to say is I always said 2, 3, 4 years ago, Harry Kane was carrying that team on his back. He
him and
left,
Son.
and we've seen the standards just drop and drop and drop.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, that's just something of note too.
And then yeah, we're going to address Arsenal as well. Good game from them. We mentioned Iberici is a brace. Very disrespectful celebration. The first one, very, very disrespectful. He was like mocking them with that on his mouth and then laughing. Very disrespectful celebration. But however, he turned up 2 goals from him. Hat trick in the first leg, a brace in the second. That's 5 goals against Spurs. I'm guessing against Spurs, Iberici is always going to turn up. Gyökeres, bad man shooter. Form of his life right now. 2 goals. Actually, both goals were good, but the second goal was like a classic Gyökeres that I believe. I mean, the defender was quite small, but that's something you expect from a player as big as Gyökeres with that physique. Bully that guy, top bins. Vicario had no chance. It's not even anything like Ateta did differently. It was just more so they're just on top of everything, man, and they deserve to win.
Yeah, I mean, we've always said Arsenal, like they're a good team. They're a good team. We slander them a lot, but we know they're a good team. Defensively, they're a good team. We just saw the only mistake they made was Declan Rice obviously causing the goal throughout the
Yeah.
entire match. One of the problem I have a problem with Arsenal
Declan
too.
Rice, I have no problem with
We
Declan
will
Rice.
we will come back to Declan Rice one day. Like one day we'll have an episode where we come to
Declan
Declan
Rice
Rice.
will be dribbling out the back. My midfielder. Come on.
But yeah, something I want to say about Arsenal is I feel like they fall like that match. They fell down a lot of times. They dove a lot of times. But I mean, that's just me with my hater perspective. Arsenal players, like even for like the smallest of fouls, they were falling out like too easily. And I mean, obviously it works because the referee blows for them, they get the distance. So I mean,
Mhm.
tactics, everybody has their own tactics for sure. But like, come on now. Like simple pushes, you guys are falling. But when it comes to corners, you people are
Bro, they
there.
impede the keeper, they
Yeah, they
push
will
the
impede.
keeper, they push
Exactly.
around the centre backs.
Exactly. They'll push
They
center
impede you from
backs.
moving. Their elbows are on your back, so even when you
Yes.
jump, you don't have a good landing.
It's not like, and it's not nice. Like that's not how people win the league. People win the league with dignity. Like like
I need to
I've said it.
relate to
I've
have
said it in
about this
previous.
episode, like,
I've said it in previous episodes. Like it feels like they want to steal the league. Like you can't steal the league. You have to win it. Score. You have 90 plus points. You have 90 plus goals. I won't even argue. How will I be able to argue against that kind of team? But
Yeah,
when you're
true.
doing all these theatrics and you're falling on any small push, like it's not nice. It's not a nice watch, to be honest.
So you're of the opinion that Kolo second goal should have stood? Because I know that's what you're referring to.
We've had this discussion about it, and actually, yes, it was a foul, but it was such a soft foul to me. It
Yeah.
was too soft, and the problem I had with that goal getting cancelled too was it changed the momentum. If the goal had stood, the match would have been 2-2, and then would have been able to see something different from how the match actually ended, which was 4-1, which was the battering. Like, obviously, Arsenal might have scored one more goal or so, but like, it was just too soft a foul. Like, he literally barely pushed him. And the way Gabriel just fell, like, we always criticize attackers for diving, but defenders diving too, like, come on. That's not the game we know, bro.
Yeah. Like Gabriel jumped like a fairy, bro.
Yeah,
Jumped
like,
like he was the way he jumps as if something hit him like a proper truck. I'm
yeah,
like, bro, what is that? But I do hear you, I understand. And it's something that the PGM world, Premier League Associate, whatever it is, they have to start looking to say, I'm not like, it's not that deep, but they have to start looking at these things, especially the way Arsenal's corners are. But, kudos to them, shout out to them. Another 3 points in the bag. Let's see how the
yeah.
title continues. And now let's go on to Manchester City. Good win against Newcastle. Was a very good game to watch. Nico Riley brace, Luis All, former Chelsea lad, with a goal. Was expect like City right now. I think they're in that zone. There is this thing they call zone 1. They are just in that zone where City have been here a lot of times, and it's more so they don't lose. Like we can go as far back as like 2019, 2018, 2019, or is it
Yeah,
2016, 2017?
yeah.
Like last season, no, not last season, the season before 2022, 2023 season, 24, 25 season, or 20, just a lot of this, seasons we can go back to and refer to City as, being in that zone where they don't lose. Like you are going towards that end of the season, City is chasing you. Bruh, it is not this easiest thing to be facing, man. And they comfortably beat Newcastle 2-1. They are going again to the next game. I'm not expecting anything different. I'm just like, give Arsenal a fight. That's all. And they are for sure going to. So let's see how that turns out. But the main issue is not even City. Kudos to City. We need to talk about. We're moving on to Chelsea versus Burnley. And obviously, there's not so much to say about Manchester City. That's why I'm moving on to Burnley versus Chelsea. Chelsea have dropped 17 points from leading or winning positions this season. They have a tally of 45 points. If we were to add that to their 45, that will be 62 points. They will be in and around the Premier League battle for basically the
Title.
contenders for the
Yeah, the title
Premier
race.
League title. They'll be in title race basically. Uh, out of this 17 points, you can see 8 players. I want to say 8 points. I don't want to use points. Basically, 8 players have gotten red cards. 8 different players have gotten red cards for Chelsea, and that is your Caicedo, your Robert Sanchez, your Chaluba, your Fofana. 8 different. Your Cucurella. Basically, all the starting centre backs, the full backs. I think I've all gotten red cards. And has led Chelsea from being in a leading position to a losing position. My question now to you is because it's not a coaching issue. I've thought about it. I thought it was Maresca's fault. Maybe he didn't like they were not playing well, and I don't know. Like discipline, I cannot tell you that it was Maresca's fault. Now Liam has joined Chelsea. Basically the match before Liam took over was against Fulham. At Fulham, Cucurella got a red card. So you can say since Liam arrived in London, Chelsea have gotten 2 red cards, one from Cucurella, one from Fofana. At what point do these players even start getting accountability? Like I don't know what word to use. Should they be held accountable? Should they be fined? Like, what is going on? This is a mentality issue. You are comfortably beating a team. You are in a Champions League title, like Champions League race, sorry, to qualify for Champions League this season. You are with Villa, you are with United, you are with Liverpool. Liverpool won. You could have won. You could have won against Leeds. You could have won against Burnley. Yet you drop points again. What is going on with Chelsea?
To me, the issue with Chelsea is just individual bozo moments. To be honest, we've seen a couple times when Caicedo should not have made chance tackles, and he did. We've seen some players on yellow, knowing fully well they're on yellow, and they still make tackles and get a red card. Like, it's just individual bozo moments. To be honest, but yeah, I feel like it isn't really too much to blame on the Chelsea players, like, or the tactics. It's just a game of football, to be honest. It's really just been a game of football.
But
And
it's costing the team a lot. 17 points from leading positions. Like, and if you think about these points, they are from proper games where Chelsea were playing well. Like they played really, really well. Against Burnley, I know that we didn't take our chances, they didn't take their chances, but they dominated the game properly. They dominated the game from the first minute up until Fofana got the red card. Against Fulham, Fulham didn't dominate, but Leeds City, they dominated the game up until that Caicedo mistake, the penalty that brought Leeds into the game. It's costing the team a lot. And it's just sad the way it's going for Chelsea. Because I don't know what the situation might be. And then I can address the stupid fans that are being racist to Fofana. They are very, very stupid. That is a story for another day. But in from leading positions, you have lost the game or you have drawn the game. What
yeah,
is going?
I
It's just
mean, yeah, for that too, you also have to look at the fact that Chelsea are a very young squad. Like, these are people that are our age right now. So, like, that might definitely be a problem. It's individual bozo moments, to be honest.
yeah, I feel you.
Young players, very enthusiastic, very um like very unorderly kind of, like they get yellow cards for fun. Chelsea has a lot of yellow cards. Right now we are the third highest team that has had red cards in an entire season. We have like 8 red cards. The highest team that has gotten a red card in a season has 9 red cards. So we're one red card away from setting the record or joining the record. So it's just like individual bozo moments from young guys. Hopefully, as they grow, hopefully next season we'll not be seeing a reoccurrence of this, to be honest.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But overall, I'm still impressed with Liam. He's handling Chelsea's issue very, very well. Like in terms of his tactical setup, in terms of his identity, imposing his ideas now on this player. So I've been very, very impressed with Liam Roseno. And I think that's about it for Chelsea. The last game we'll be talking about is just Liverpool. Liverpool handed Nottingham Forest a late winner, 1-0 McAllister, and it was actually a roller coaster in that game. They scored the first goal through McAllister, which was deemed a handball. Basically, your hands cannot be used to score any goal in Premier League again. And then,
Controversial, because that has happened. It happened last week against Chelsea, where
yeah,
the
I mean,
Leeds guy
they,
used
they
his
changed
hand.
the rules. The rules is more so the player that scores, the player that scores, not what has happened prior to the before the goal happened, like prior to the goal and being scored. No, not the player that's like if the player that scored, then yeah, that's a cancelled goal. But whatever has happened prior does not matter. That's why I think they gave that.
Premier League is so not standard. Like, their
Yeah,
rules keep on changing. It's
yeah.
hard to
I had to
follow.
check the rules. I had to check the rules against Leeds. I had to check it, and I was like, damn, fuck. But controversial goal, but it was cancelled and rightfully so. And Liverpool got the second goal again. McAllister 1-0. They ended it there. So shout out to Liverpool. They didn't play so well. but they got the result, and they are still in that race for the Champions League position. All teams are right now. Chelsea, United is playing right now against Everton. Score is 2-0, but Chelsea, Liverpool, and United all have 45 points. If United draws today, they have 46, so they go back to that fourth, right behind Aston Villa. And Aston Villa is still dropping points, but we'll discuss them another day. But yeah, that's basically what we have for today, man. Not so much on the Premier League. We have Champions League. We have Champions League fixtures tomorrow. Second leg, I believe. I might be wrong, but we do have some games tomorrow. And I hope there's some upsets. I think so. Maybe some things should happen. Real Madrid, Benfica, all of that. The La Liga race is still ongoing. What even happened in La Liga? Yeah, La Liga race is still ongoing. Real Madrid got beaten 2-1. Barcelona won. The table has changed again. So there's still a lot of football. But that's just about it for today's episode. Anything else you want to add there before we go?
We can make a couple predictions on who's going to go through in the Champions League.
I don't even know if there's matches tomorrow, but we can check
It
that.
is, it is.
Oh, okay, okay. So
Um,
is it Real Madrid that's playing, or is it that is it Galatasaray? You know, sometimes they do the reverse in Champions League.
you know what? Let's actually check it out right now. We obviously know it's Galatasaray versus what team are they playing? Juventus. Yeah, Italian teams have been having horrible run in the Champions League this season. All of them are in the playoff stages. All of them are about to be knocked out. That tells you something about the Italian league. It's something you should watch out for. Tomorrow, Atletico is playing Club Brugge. Leverkusen is playing Olympiacos. Inter is playing Bodo Glimt.
Yeah,
Newcastle is playing Karabag.
yeah. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, those ones I don't know. I'm more. To be honest, my prediction is just Benfica beats Real Madrid. That's
yeah,
all.
I think Atletico is going to win Club Brugge just barely, just barely. Leverkusen Olympiacos. No idea. But Leverkusen have already won 2-0 in the first leg, so
Yeah.
it's definitely better for them. Bodo Glimt, Inter, Bodo Glimt are 3-1 on aggregates right now. Bodo Glimt to actually progress. Yes, I'd love to see it. That's going to be one of the Champions League upsets of this season.
I think Inter wins that, but let's see.
And Newcastle Karabag, 6-1 Newcastle have gone through. There's no hope for
Yeah,
that match
Newcastle
again.
is no hope. Real Madrid, Benfica is the one I want to see, and I hope Benfica has something for me at the Santiago Bernabeu.
Me too.
Especially with Real Madrid losing over the weekend. La Liga table change, that's something to watch out for. But yeah, there's still a lot more games to be played. Definitely, they're going to catch us on the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys followed along right from the first minute. I hope you enjoyed my speech for Tottenham. I hope you enjoyed the analysis on Arsenal. I'm still your boy Dio, and I'm just asking everyone, please, please, please subscribe, share, like, comment. Let everybody know about FTLG. We've seen the clips on TikTok. Please interact, post everything, man. Anything else that
Please, if you see these clips on Instagram, please like it, comment. That's going to help us increase our reach and increase our impressions, especially as we're going algorithmic here. According to the algorithm, if you post on Tuesday, you get more likes, you get more, like, more people get to see your post. So it's just
yeah,
an
yeah.
experiment. It's just
I'm
an
not going to laugh
experiment.
at my co-host, man. My co-host knows what he's talking about.
Please, I'm a data analyst. This is what I do.
That's what he does, okay? That's what he does.
But please, if you see this, just like comment, even if you just commenting for reach or something. What do those people do on LinkedIn? CFR, CFBR.
What did you
Please,
guys say?
like just do it, please. We want to get more people to see this as much as possible.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But yeah, that's about it for today's episode. Thank you all for listening, for tuning in. You'll see us post live tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a blissful week. Bye, guys.
Bye. Have it going.